When you first clicked on this video, you might have wondered about the state of the Transporter franchise and what new developments it has to offer. Well, things have changed, and now you're about to discover the why behind it. To start with, mercenary Frank Martin decided to step away from the prospect of making the Transporter 5 around the same time he committed to roles in The Expendables 3, Fast and Furious 7, and Mechanic Resurrection. Back in 2013, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that EuropaCorp and Fundamental Films had plans to co-finance, produce, and distribute 3 new installments in the Transporter franchise following T3. These projects were allocated budgets ranging from $30 million to $40 million, with at least one film likely to be set in China. However, despite these plans, it appears that apart from a single film featuring a different lead actor released in 2015, which we'll delve into later, the Frank Martin saga has stalled. Now, let's explore everything we know about the Transporter 5. Before Ed Skrein, a Game of Thrones alum, took on the role for the soft reboot The Transporter Refueled around 2015, Jason Statham was presented with the opportunity to star in The Transporter 4, The Transporter 5, and The Transporter 6. However, there were 2 significant hurdles. In a rather entertaining twist of fate, Jason Statham spilled the beans in an interview with Vulture, saying, "You know what? It was like they were inviting me to the never-ending movie marathon of my life, and I was all set for it. But here's the kicker. They wanted me to commit to 3 more films without even giving me a sneak peek at the script, and they were offering me less dough for 3 than I'd normally rake in for just 1. I mean, come on, that's like asking someone to buy a 3-course meal deal at a fast food joint without even knowing what's on the menu." He cheekily added, "Sure, I would have loved to jump back in the action, but you can't just sign up for a movie without knowing what you're getting into, especially not for a trilogy, and certainly not for pennies. I mean, I might be a tough guy on screen, but I'm not a charity case." It seems the business aspects didn't align with Statham's expectations, leading to his departure from the franchise. Jason Statham's decision to step away from the Transporter franchise was primarily driven by the business terms offered to him. The prospect of committing to 3 more movies without knowing the scripts and being offered less compensation for the entire trilogy than he would typically receive for a single film didn't sit well with him. While Statham acknowledged the great experience of working on the Transporter films, this business aspect ultimately played a decisive role in his departure. As a result, this left the franchise in a position where it sought new talent, leading to the introduction of Ed Skrein as the new face of Frank Martin in The Transporter Refueled. Indeed, Jason Statham's decision is quite understandable. While his filmography may include a range of movies, not all of them have been officially acclaimed. Films like Crank High Voltage, Romeo and Juliet, or The Meg may not have received cinematic accolades, and it's reasonable that Statham wouldn't want to risk his reputation and the legacy of Frank Martin on potentially subpar movies, starting with The Transporter 5, especially when the financial compensation didn't meet his expectations. The prospect of continuously revisiting the same character in a franchise, with the burden of promoting each film as a fresh take while potentially facing diminishing returns, could indeed be a daunting and creatively unfulfilling endeavor for an actor. I guess when all is said and done, there are only so many in-movie missions you can watch a former special operations mercenary turned kickboxing courier embark upon before the services you'll be requesting involves a bullet to your own head. Just look at what they did to Fast and Furious and Taken, how Jason Statham could potentially return to the Transporter franchise. In a surprising turn of events, the Transporter franchise is poised for a thrilling comeback, and Jason Statham's return as Frank Martin might not be as far-fetched as it seems. Here's how it could happen. First and foremost, the franchise producers would need to craft a compelling script for the Transporter 5 that not only captures the essence of the earlier films, but also offers a fresh and intriguing storyline. It would need to be a story that piques Statham's interest and allows his character, Frank Martin, to evolve in a meaningful way. To entice Statham back into the role, the producers would have to make a financial offer that aligns with his stature in the industry. After all, the earlier departure was largely due to monetary concerns. A deal that respects Statham's talent and commitment would be essential. To rejuvenate the franchise, the Transporter 5 could introduce a new angle to Frank Martin's character. Perhaps he has been living a quiet undercover life, but a new threat emerges that pulls him back into the world of high-stakes transport missions. This could add depth to the character and make it more appealing for Statham to return. Fans of the franchise would love to see some nods to the earlier films. Incorporating elements, characters, or references from the previous movies could create a sense of nostalgia and make Statham's return all the more exciting. A stellar supporting cast could sweeten the deal for Statham. Having well-known actors or actresses alongside him could enhance the overall appeal of the film. Bringing in a talented director with a fresh vision for the franchise can also be a key factor, someone who can breathe new life into the series while respecting its core elements. It's not impossible to imagine a scenario where Jason Statham is convinced to return as Frank Martin in the Transporter 5, provided the right conditions are met. Fans would undoubtedly rejoice at the return of their beloved Transporter, and the franchise could find new life with Statham back in the driver's seat. With that being said, how could the next movie set up potential storyline and plot for the Transporter 5 that could entice Jason Statham to return? Well, it could happen like this. The Transporter 5, Rogue Protocol. Several years have passed since Frank Martin walked away from the high-stakes world of professional transport and mercenary work. He has been living a quiet, anonymous life, running a small transportation business. But Frank's peaceful existence is shattered when he receives an anonymous message on his encrypted channel, the one he thought was long forgotten. The message contains disturbing footage of a transport job gone terribly wrong, a hostage situation involving a powerful crime syndicate known as the Consortium. Frank recognizes the victim, an old acquaintance from his past, who is now a key player in the Consortium. It's clear that the criminal organization has grown more ruthless and dangerous than ever before. Reluctantly, Frank is pulled back into the life he tried to leave behind. He assembles a team of skilled specialists, each with their unique talents, to help him take on the Consortium. His mission? Rescue the hostages, dismantle the syndicate, and expose their hidden agendas. As Frank delves deeper into the world of international espionage, high-speed chases, and intense hand-to-hand combat, he uncovers a sinister plot involving stolen military technology, a shadowy government agency, and a rogue operative with a personal vendetta. Frank's journey takes him from the streets of Europe to the heart of Asia, where he must confront his past, outsmart his enemies, and protect those he cares about. With heart-pounding action sequences, unexpected alliances, and a relentless pursuit of justice, the Transporter 5 Rogue Protocol not only reestablishes Frank Martin as the ultimate transporter, but also delivers a thrilling and suspenseful story that keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. This storyline combines the elements of intrigue, personal stakes, and the signature high-octane action that fans of the franchise love, making it a compelling proposition for Jason Statham to reprise his role as Frank Martin in the Transporter 5. As we wrap up this hour-driven vision for the Transporter 5 Rogue Protocol, we hope you've enjoyed exploring the possibilities of Jason Statham's return to the franchise and the exciting storyline we've imagined. If you're as eager as we are to see Frank Martin back in action, be sure to let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if you found this theory intriguing. If you'd like to stay up to date with more exciting fan theories and movie discussions, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep those engines revving and stay tuned for more cinematic adventures.